same thing happened about, I'm thinking about 15 years ago, when on Friday night, I got a call from a counselor. One counselor was out of town, the bishop was out of town, and the people that were scheduled to speak had an emergency and they had to go out of town. And would you please speak in Sacrament Sunday? And he said, if you just take just a little bit of time, and I'll try to take care of the rest. And I said, oh, okay. Yes, I asked him, what do you want me to talk on? I don't remember for sure what it was, but I think it's pretty much what we talked about today. I said, I think I can do that. And this morning as we went to the Homer Park Board for the baby blessing, we walked in one side of the chapel, and Joe had walked in the other side of the chapel. He was the counselor that was going to finish out the meeting when I said all I could say. So we came in and started our sacrament meeting, and I was the first speaker, and he was going to cover the rest. And I looked up at the clock and I said, oh, 5 after the hour. When we speak about what I'm talking about today, and what Sister Beth's talking about today, the Spirit just kind of takes over with me. It has been a huge spiritual part of my life for the last 22 years. The Sister Beth's just talking about family history, and I'm just going to start with a little bit of hers and then into my temple. I was in the same place that I know a lot of you have been in. It seemed like it was a stone wall, and there was no way to go around it or over it or through it. You just couldn't go any further. We came home from church one day, and Sister Beth sat down at the computer and just looking. And all of a sudden I heard, Gary, you better come look at this. I went over to the temple, or over to the computer and looked. And she found a site, and found on that site my great-grandfather. I could not find anything past him. What she found was he was the first thing on this end going back 13 generations. Almost as good as yours, Brother Barry. 1,800 names. Since that day, I've taken all those, with the help of several others in this ward, in the old Fourth Ward. All of those 1,800 names have been taken to the temple and done. And it's a great feeling. And I don't know if you remember Frank. Frank Jarvis was one of those that helped me. And one experience I remember the most out of doing those names. Brother Jarvis was in the water doing proxy baptism for my family, and he read this name. I don't recall the name now. It was a sister. And I was walking back across the back of the baptistry to go do confirmations, and he read this name, and I just stopped, and the tears just poured down my face. This sister was there. And she was letting me know how glad she was after waiting over 150 years that somebody finally done her work. I released her from prison, spirit prison, to move on. wasn't sure about this feeling I had. I went in and did confirmations, and there came the name again, and all the same thing washed over me again. But that's wait till I can through the kids. This doesn't happen with everyone, but it does. It puts a feeling in you that you cannot deny. Many people have waited hundreds of years, and this 1,800 names that we've done in the last 20-some years, some of those people have been waiting over 400 years. It's just a feeling that just will not be denied. And this coming Saturday, we have a temple trip planned for several of our new members of the ward to go do baptisms. And my hope is they're going to get that same pickup that I did and get excited and just do everything they can to get their families together and take their names to the temple and get those families sealed together as the Lord would have it. But I came here to talk about temples today, and I just wanted to tie what Sister Betsy talked to you about what I'm going to talk to you about. And I've got this, my talk on this book about the temples. And the biggest part of what I'm going to talk about is from President Gordon B. Hinckley. He'll always be one of my favorite presidents. Can't say my favorite because I have too many favorites, but he fits right up here on the top of the list because he will always be known as the temple president. The number of temples that were on the earth when he became president, the number when he passed away, just exploded. The temples are a place where our questions about life receive the answer of eternity. A lot of things we really would like to know about where we go from after this life. As we go to the temple, we get a lot of these answers. For you who have not been to the temple, I sure hope and pray that this is the year you're going to go. I hope that's on your number one on your New Year's resolutions. Bishop's not here, but I can speak for the bishop. There's nothing that would make him happier than to have one of you who has not had a temple recommend come in, talk to him, see what you need to do, and get started on a plan to get your temple recommend to get to the temple this year. I've sat in that bishop's office too many times and seen too many people come in there that I know there's nothing that makes a bishop happier than to see a new family go to the temple. Well, it looks like I did it again. I thought we had to go 5 after, but we need to close now. But I challenge all of you who do not have temple recommends or have never had a temple recommend. Talk to the bishop. See what you need to do to get that temple recommend. It is very important. And I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
We'll close our meeting by singing one verse of hymn number 217, Come Let Us In.